Okay, let's talk about writing regimen. You've written a lot of scripts. You've gotten a lot of stuff produced. For our viewers at home, what's the deal? How are you doing this? How can we get a kernel of wisdom from you to get more prolific for our writing careers?
Just write. And that really is what it comes down to. You know, my writing schedule these days is, you know, get up at noon, eventually wander down to a coffee shop with my laptop and then put in some time. But what I do is I look at the number of pages I write per day, and that's my focus. It's not how many hours do I spend, because I can spend a whole lot of hours online doing nothing. And, you know, in the old days before, you know, Wi-Fi and internet, I could spend a whole lot of time playing Donkey Kong or whatever the hell, you know? So, you know, you can waste time when it looks like, you know, well, it's my work time. But what I do is I go, I've got to do so many pages. And one of the things I did at the warehouse was, my rule was I had to have one good page every day. And one good page every day turns into 3 scripts a year.
You're right.
And so that was my goal, is one good page every day. And then I would basically take, you know, my days off, and I might do rewrites, or I might try to get ahead for the next week or whatever, or usually bail out from getting behind. But if you just set a certain number of pages, doesn't have to be a lot, one page, write one page a day, you eventually end up with 3 scripts by the end of the year. Now, those are 3 first draft scripts, and you may have to work on them, but it's so much easier to fix a first draft than to start from scratch and write a script.
Right. So. Right. Nice. Wow. That's different. That's very different. That's cool. I'm gonna take a little bit of that. That's good.
It also helps when you're on an assignment where you have a deadline.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, I know that I can. Right now, as a pro, I try to do 5 pages a day on a script, and I know I can do 5 pages easily, and that's 5 pages I can hand into a producer, and they won't go, "What? We paid for this crap?" You know. So, but if I end up with some crazy deadline, and I've had a couple of those, where I did a thing for USA Network once, where it was a script dropped out, a whole film dropped out, and so they had a replacement film, and I went in on this meeting, and they had me tour a location, and then pitch 5 thriller ideas. So I toured this location and pitched 5 thriller ideas, and they said, "Fine. You know, we need you to start right away." And I go, "Okay, that's cool." And they go, "We need the script in 2 weeks." And I said, "What do you mean?" You know, "We need a script in 2 weeks that we can give to talent to sign." And I'm like, this is close to impossible. And they go, "And what's more, we want to get good talent, and we want to pay them less than their quote. So it means it's got to be so good that it's going to attract." And it ended up attracting an Oscar-nominated actress to work for below her quote.
Wow.
And then the film never got made because it crashed and burned.
Oh.
But, you know.
But you did it in 2 weeks.
I did it in 2 weeks. And the script turned out really well. I was really happy with it. And the thing was, I knew that I could do 5 pages a day, and that meant I had to ramp up and do more than 5 pages a day. But it's like, okay, because I can comfortably do this much, I can uncomfortably, you know, the no sleep mode, you know, I can do more. And I just cranked it out.
Wow, it's like training for the Olympics.
Yeah, and part of the thing was with that script was that I only pitched scripts that I already owned the research books for. So one of the things in that story was, because I did 5 pitches, one of the things in that story had to do with criminal procedure, poisons, all these things, and I had all those books on my shelf. So
I love those books.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, if I wasn't going to get in a situation where I was up against the clock, and then I had to like do 2 weeks of research, and that was my writing time, where I knew I'd already had all the research books, so I went, okay, I remember there's a poison that looks like a heart attack. What the hell is that? And I could go through the poison book and find it. And then part of the story had to do with moving prisoners from one facility to another and how that's done, and I had books on that. So I could, you know.
Secret arsenal, that's good.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's good.